can start then. Hello everyone, welcome to VOLTHA TST. This call will be recorded and uploaded to social media. So we can start off with the agenda. I have carried over the agenda from the previous meeting. I think so that's still valid. So we'll go one by one. Here on the hardware test, we should have some bandwidth this week. So we will check this. Put it under my name. Okay. And on the GitHub action, anything, Eric?
Eric has just left, probably will come back. He said he
Oh,
has some audio issues.
okay. So I'll skip to this. So we had this proposal for failure events. So we have shared the patches for these. So please review. Sarkam, everyone, please have a look, provide your comments. We can discuss if anything that if all good, then we should be good too much.
Yes.
Okay. And Jenkins tests, Sarkam, you are able to check.
No, I haven't checked again since the last meeting. I'll try to look at those this week, hopefully. But we need to learn more about the Eric's progress so we can plan accordingly.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a few more patches which had to be reviewed. So just brief about this patch. Okay, so what was happening here was, so this new resource manager is spawned for every port in the OLT. Now, if we have many OLTs and many ports, then what would happen is the number of clients to the DB would increase. So when we added like a huge like a chassis based OLT, which would be having 100 ports, and we added like 10 to like 100 OLTs, then the number of connections to the DB, right, would go up to 20,000, 30,000, which is not a good way to do it. So what we have done now is we have stopped spawning a new client on every pond resource manager and resource manager. So we use the same client which is initialized on the beginning of the device, and we'll use the same. So that's basically the change. Since clients everywhere, the code is spread across a lot of files, but change is obvious. Yeah, we set client initially, we initialize, and the same will be carried over everywhere. Okay. So please review Sarkan and Maher. Please provide your comments on this. We've taken care of the upgrade case as well. Upgrade case also will work here. We haven't changed the path. It's just that the client, instead of spawning multiple clients, will have only one per device.
So this would help managing the load to the KV store if you are provision the chassis based OLTs.
Yes. So usually in DTs, this one we have three pod servers, and in that we can that three pod servers basically will be able to handle hundreds of OLTs depending on the type of OLT, whether it's a pizza box or a chassis one. Considering the worst case scenario, like chassis based and 50 to 100 OLTs, then we'll end up having like 20,000, 50,000 connections to the KV store,
Mm.
where that KV store, more connections to the more clients to the KV store, its performance will go down, whether it is ETCD or whether it is Redis. We have seen very too much degraded performance.
So I understand that you modeled a chassis-based OLT as a single big box, right? Not single OLTs in the chassis.
Uh, sorry, can you please repeat? I don't get.
So in a chassis-based OLT, there are like tens of or 20 line cards, right? So you are modeling this chassis-based OLT as a single OLT, not you are not assuming each line card as a separate OLT, but rather you are seeing it as a big box.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So for Volta, as of now, we are not. Volta is not bothered about the line card much because for Volta it's just ports, the NNI port and the PON port. So the managing the chassis, the line cards, and all will be done via DM. So yes, so it's one big OLT with like so many ports, as many as ports as line cards have. Like if it's an 8 line card having 16 ports, then 18, 16.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Um, so if there is one, I'll move on to the next. Um, there is one failure in the sanity, this one for the ONU adapter. I think so recently something got upgraded and the sanity is failing for this. Pranik, you have more information on this because I was not able to open that.
Yeah, yes, Abhilash. Yeah, I think there's one library, OpenCord, but that's outdated and it is not compatible with the Python 3. So that's what has to be, we have to find an alternative for that.
Which is that library and call it.
Yeah, correct. Cord, Cord robot, Cord, okay. Can you come down a bit? Yeah, even more. Yeah, down here.
Let me check for the failure and somewhere it's
Cord robot. Yeah, that's the one.
okay. This is a Robo framework
Correct.
library,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah, right.
Okay, fine. So on this, we are working on it. Um, we're working on it. We'll help from Eric to make that for this. So one probably something got
Yeah,
updated.
what is the error in that pipeline? Can you go back and let's see?
There we go. They close it. Oh, oops. Here. This one.
Okay, so there are some warnings. These are not the errors. It is just a deprecation warning. What? Where is the actual error code?
It's right. This is not okay. One second.
Oh, this is yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
one, this one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember this, but
Okay, it went through with
No, can you come down? There should be one more. It went through, right? Okay.
the thank
Sorry, I think you went past the most relevant error. There's a failure to import package resources, I think.
yeah.
This one, I have a ticket for this. I've looked into this error, but it looks like one of the dependent modules needs to be updated.
Yeah.
Basically, as we've been updating other modules and using newer runners, there's a incompatibility with something upstream. I think it's the Cord Robot module.
This is the one, right? Importing library. This
Yeah,
is
that's one import error. Yeah. No, actually, I'll paste there. I send it to test 2151.
just give me this one time slot. That will be easy.
So, Ablesh, I've shared one Jenkins job link in the chat. There we could see this error actually. You go up a bit. You can look for Quad Robot. You'll be able to see. Yeah, here you will be able to see.
Second,
You can look for
Quad
Quad Robot. Yeah, Quad Robot.
Quad.
No dot. It's a combined word. Yeah, that's this one.
Okay.
It's library we are unable to import here.
So this is due to something got updated. I think so. Python or something got updated.
Yes.
Well, was there a recent change on this? Because I remember these jobs were completing successfully before.
Yes. So something got updated. Eric, have we updated anything like Python or anything?
Yeah, there have been a few recent updates that had to occur across most repositories. But I think the issue is that as those modules and other modules that they're importing have become updated, there are now incompatibilities with Cord Robot. Basically, Cord Robot is trying to use some things that are too old for everything else. So it either needs to be updated or somehow pulled out of the pipeline.
Okay. Anyway, we are looking into it. We'll see. One of the team member is working on it already. So we'll get in touch with you, Eric, if we need anything from this. Okay. I had one more item. So we have like disable pawn port as of now, disable port as of now, and also we disable port in tab.paper and disable hardware component in DM. So here, can we put a comment saying like when the port is disabled or that hardware component is disabled? When we say hardware component, usually we do it on the line card. So can we put a comment on DMI and disable port in the Volta Proto that they should go into power saving mode? Any thoughts, Mahek, Serkan, on this? Because as of now, we're saying just disable. We're not defining what disable should be, but for now we can say like, okay, when it is disabled, we can put it to power saving.
Sorry, I couldn't follow Abhilash.
So we have this disable port API in Volta Proto, which will go to the VOLT and will disable the pawn ports.
Mm-hmm.
And we have similar in DMI to disable the hardware component. In this case, usually it will be the line card.
Okay.
And when we say disable, can we mention in the protos that when we mark it as disabled, the ports and the line cards or whatever component we are disabling will have to be moved to power saving mode. Basically, for the pawn port, usually the PX and RX lasers in the transceiver should be switched off. And same for the line cards as well. If they're using any power, they should be switched off. Basically, moving them to power saving.
Okay, so what was your suggestion for this?
The session itself is like we will put a comment in the protos that when disable port is fired towards a device or on a port, then the port has to be moved to power saving. That is one option. Or another option is we define one more API which will specifically ask the ability to put to power saving the ports and also the components like line card. Since we're not doing anything, we are just saying disable here. Why not use the disable port itself for power saving if we don't have any other use case for disable port?
So as far as I know, the disable POM ports, the current implementation of disable POM port is being used by if there's a need for maintenance of the OLT, or if the operation team wants to reset something. So um, I need to ask to the team if they are okay with this. Do you have a ticket for this, Abilay, so that I can forward to our team and ask their opinion?
Not that I will create one ticket.
Okay. If you put some explanation, it would be easier to tell them.
Yeah, because even if we put it to power saving mode also, I think so it should go fine. But anyway, you can check because if disable port has a specific use case, then yes, we can keep disable port as a separate API, and we'll have to introduce new APIs to put the port to power saving. Anyway, I will put all the details in and I'll share it.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. All I have for today. Anything else? Okay, I think so. We missed the GitHub. Anyway, Eric is back. Eric, anything on the GitHub action?
Yeah, I've got new actions for most of the verification jobs, so those will be rolling out to other repositories early this week. So expect to see a lot of changes up for code review.
Okay.
And once everything's verifying through GitHub Actions, we'll start pushing all the merge jobs and dependabot files to keep everything updated.
So Eric, is there any update about the sanity test? So you were saying that GitHub Actions does not allow to have large K8s clusters, so it is impossible to run our sanity tests on GitHub Actions. The situation is same, right? There is no change about that.
Yes. So the sanity tests, just to be clear, like they can run via GitHub Actions, but they can't run on the default free runners. So they can run via GitHub Actions, but will still require AWS hardware.
Okay.
And speaking of, is there any update on which tests to be migrated over? Because there was discussion about going through all the tests to see which were needed and which weren't.
I've made a preliminary analysis and I couldn't find any specific job to be dismissed, but I'll take a look at those again to understand more details. But currently, no.
Okay.
But since
And
we are running them weekly, I think we are in a better shape using those resources. But yeah, as you said, if we can find some of them unnecessary and dismiss them, then it's going to be better. But I'll check this week hopefully. The best thing probably would be re-engineer all of these sanity tests, but we don't have the resources for those yet. We'll see.
Okay. Anything else? Any other points to discuss?
I don't have anything else. I'll most probably be on PTO for the next meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Akhil. I'll take it off now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then we can close. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a
And
great week.
have a nice day. Bye.